Let's get right to our chief investigative reporter, Bennett Haberly, who's stringing together the common thread that's robbing families of justice.
This is a tough thing the city is going through right now. I mean, the rate is outrageous of the number of lives. To lose a kid is hard. There is no excuse. There is no recovery. It's hard. So wake up, people. Enough's enough.
Across Columbus,
we are killing off our own people. We are killing off our own.
so many are talking about violence.
When people are out here doing these things, they don't realize what you do to people and how you affect people.
Just had another murder. You watch TV over and over and over. This is happening.
Talking over their grandson's grave. Talking from living rooms where their loved ones no longer sit.
It's painful. I get angry. I'm very angry.
There's talk from city leaders about what should be done.
One of the most important things that the community can do is share information with law enforcement.
But our investigation found it may be a lack of talking, a street code that pushes silence over cooperation with police that is causing so many murders here to remain unsolved.
No one's going to tell on nobody out there.
People heard her cry for help, but I think people are too afraid to get involved.
There's a lot of people out here scared.
Look no further than just above the tree lines to spot what we are talking about. We found more than a dozen areas of the city where unsolved homicides have been clustered together, where killings are common but arrests are few. We call them dead zones or no-arrest deserts, and they span from the North End to North Linden to a South Side apartment complex and the Hilltop, where unsolved murders are sprinkled from block to block. This map shows every murder in Columbus since 2017. The red dots represent unsolved cases. The blue are those cleared by arrests. With more than 650 homicides over the past 5 years, police have made arrests in a little more than 1 out of every 2.
I think they keep this thing to themselves, all those women and people that live on the streets, that they don't say things. They're scared to say things.
Tina Griffey's daughter, Ashley Sweeney, was found dumped in a Hilltop alleyway this summer. Her family acknowledges Ashley had lived a rough life. A history of minor criminal charges, drugs, and prostitution, all of it was in her background. Described as a selfless soul who helped others, her family has heard rumors, but doesn't know concretely who killed Ashley or why.
The week she got murdered, we were supposed to go to Jackson Lake and just go have fun and go camping together.
Her death isn't the only unsolved murder in this family. Ashley's cousin, James Johnson, died after being shot at this gas station in October of 2020. Their families recently held a vigil at this Sunoco.
And I want some justice for James and all the other young men and women out there that have suffered the same fate he has. I can't even believe I'm standing here. This is like my wildest nightmare.
Their deaths are among a half-dozen murders still unsolved in this area of the Hilltop, all within a half-mile of each other. James Johnson's mother, Brenda.
Nobody's going to talk if they think they're next.
What is it about, you think, the no snitching, the no talking, the code of the streets? How much do you think of that is at play in cases like your son's?
Oh, 99.9. I do.
You think it's a big factor?
It's a big factor. Nobody will talk. There's a lot of people that knows. I know they know. I know who knows, but they won't talk.
We found similar stories among other families of murder victims.
DeJuan used to tell me, Paul, snitches get stitches. He used to tell me that all the time.
Lit Howard's grandson, DeJuan Lewis Taylor, was shot along this sidewalk in late September of 2020. He was 15. Lit and his wife, Tony, have no idea who is responsible.
What role do you think no snitching plays?
A lot. I believe there's a lot of people that know stuff regarding whether what happened to DeJuan or anyone else. And again, I don't know if it's so much the fear or people's alliance to the streets, you know.
Weeks before his death, DeJuan ran away from a youth behavioral treatment program and was shot outside a house near Morse Road, where Tony later learned he had been staying. On the 1-year anniversary of his death, the family gathered at DeJuan's grave.
What did he say? You know, he was there by himself. You know, did he cry out for Mama? Did he cry out for Papa? But God bless and let me know there was someone that was beside DeJuan. A lady told me that DeJuan cried out for salvation.
In a county 2/3 white, nearly 2/3 of Columbus murder victims since 2017 have been black.
I hate to say that. I think we as a people feel like that certain people or certain entities feel like as if that's one less black person. I have heard that before.
Ray Riggins and her friend Tylisha Reed lost their friend Sade Payne this past spring. Shot outside of this home. Her death piles onto the grief these women already hold. Both told me they've lost loved ones to gun violence, cases that also remain unsolved.
And for someone to take somebody that's so near and dear to us, because she was there for me when my brother died. She was there for me multiple times.
I do not care what that victim was doing at the time they were murdered. They were murdered.
We shared our findings with Homicide Commander Robert Strasbaugh, who told us our investigation mirrors the problems that have plagued the streets for years.
So this metastasizes.
Oh God,
that's what it is.
It's like a cancer.
While no snitching is an issue, he told us equally troubling are retaliation killings, or the deep-seated mistrust of working with police. He pointed to the recent shootings at Bicentennial Park and the Eastside Rec Center as examples where hundreds of potential witnesses were present. His message:
I would say, give us a chance. If you want to put anything on the news or in your story, give us a chance. Give us a chance with good evidence to put the person who killed your loved one or anyone in your community in front of a judge.
But fear is still a powerful force. This mother, whose son was killed a few hundred feet from other fatal shootings, asked that we conceal her identity.
Why are you afraid?
Just because I'm afraid every day. Because I mean, it's whoever these killers are, we don't know the reason. That's the main thing I want to know is why. When I have the day to look them in their eyes, I want to know why. Took my son from me, and I don't feel safe because how do I know they don't want me dead or my whole family dead?
The city is on a path to set another record in 2021, a city where silence begets more violence. Bennett Haberly, 10 Investigates.